everybody, to We Talk Film. I'm your host, as always, Barry, joined by, as always, Clayton as well.
Hello.
Man, Another week, another podcast, another WTF episode. What's going on, Clayton? How you been? What's been happening?
I've been good. You can always count on us to be here for you guys every week. You know, we're the only thing in your life that will never truly leave you. We will be here every Sunday evening till the end of time.
It's all right. I'm not like your father. I didn't leave to go and get a packet of cigarettes and never came back. I'm here. I'm constantly all the time with my cigarettes.
Speaking of things that are here, we've got two really exciting things to talk about today, Barry. We've got a brand new animated movie from Netflix, as well as a new episode of Secret Invasion to talk about. We're in for a stacked episode today.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. But as always, before we get into the things that we talk about, we have something else that we talk about before the things we talk about. It is Newsweek Today.
Newsweek Today, the segment of We Talk Film where we talk about the news and the entertainment industry, because it's all weird and wacky and wonderful news. Here's the news. Reporting by Clayton.
Always is. Our top story tonight, Barry, Indiana Jones 5, a movie that we both saw and we both kind of liked, right?
Yep.
Its second week at the box office is the worst week in the franchise's history. It is tanked hard.
Oh no!
Hard. Like people saw this when it came out. We were like, oh, it's doing okay. It's building up, and then it seems like everyone's fallen off this train. There's lots of people that just hate this movie. The majority of people hate this movie. And it's big news because I liked it, and I feel kind of sad about it now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I still did quite enjoy it. Definitely enjoyed it more than Crystal Skull, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. It's really surprising still, Indiana Jones of all things to actually still not making money, even just by its name. Like you would think people would still be going to see it, but obviously not. People aren't interested at all.
It's crazy though, because when I was doing my research for today's news segment, there was like half a dozen articles explaining why Crystal Skull wasn't that bad. People are going back. It's like a prequels for Star Wars. People are like, it wasn't that bad. This one sucks. I'm like, you got it the wrong way around. But yeah. Oh well, that sucks.
It happens.
Yeah, okay, let's move on. We got a couple new trailers this week, Barry. Two trailers in particular. One of them that looks awful, and one of them looks kind of good. Which one do you want to know about first, Barry?
Let's start with the awful one. Bad news first.
Oh boy! All right. So, are you a fan of the Conjuring movies and the Insidious, all of those?
I have watched the first two Conjuring films.
Okay,
and I didn't mind them.
You haven't seen one of what I would like to describe as one of the worst horror movies ever made, The Nun?
I have heard about it, but I have not seen it.
Well, guess what? They're making a second one. A trailer for The Nun 2. The Nun 2.
The Nun 2? There's two nuns now? Oh my god.
Yeah. School is Hell. The Nun 2 School is Hell.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it looks worse than the first one. And the first one was just awful. God awful. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Well, then why are they making a second one?
Because it made a shit ton of money. It's attached to the Conjuring movies.
Are they trying to make their own cinematic universe with all the horror films? They have
There's like a dozen of them now. Have you kept up with? There's like 7 Conjuring movies. The 5th Insidious movie came out recently as well. They're all connected, Barry. It's like the MCU.
Okay, the MCU of horror films.
Yeah. The first one's the only good one, and I'll stand by that.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not going to see that one. I regret watching the first one. But a movie I am going to see, it's called One Love, starring Kingsley Ben-Adir. One Love. It's the Bob Marley biopic that just got a trailer.
Oh.
And starring Kingsley Ben-Adir, who is in Secret Invasion. He's the villain in that, and he's Bob Marley.
Nice.
And it looks good. It looks really good. Yeah,
yeah.
It's filmed in all the real locations in amongst Jamaica and that, and it actually looks like a really entertaining like biopic movie.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I've been like waiting for years for someone to do like a good biopic of Bob Marley.
Yeah.
And there's a few other well-known historical figures I still want to see. But yeah, that sounds actually like really interesting. Like I wouldn't mind seeing that. So especially with
the trailer.
the guy that's playing him, because obviously he's done very well in Secret Invasion. Like I'm really loving his character in that. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool to actually like see him in that role, I reckon.
It works. It honestly got me hyped because Bob Marley's family and everything were like, now is the time. This movie really honors his legacy and tells the story really well. And just the events that are shown in the trailer, it looks really good. Like I haven't been excited for a music movie since Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And this looks just as good as
nice. I thought you also were going to talk about, because there was another trailer this week for another film that I'm looking forward to at the end of this year, which was Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon. They finally released the full trailer this week.
That's true.
And oh my gosh, this could be potentially my favorite film of the year.
I forgot about that. I watched that trailer, but I forgot to put it down in my notes. So I'm kind of glad you mentioned it because it does look good. Yeah.
And it's all based upon true events as well. And just like seeing Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro like acting against one another kind of in this film by the looks of it is just going to be phenomenal. Like I'm looking forward to this film now more than when they just had like the name of it and what it was going to be about. Like just watching that trailer was just like, oh, okay, this is what's going to be involved in it all. And it was based upon true events. It's like, oh, that's even more interesting. So
it's very wacky, but I love it. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be like 4 hours long though. So.
Yeah, 3 hours and 26 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a cinema one or they better bring like an interlude or something because I'm not going to be able to sit through all
this thing is longer than Avatar: The Way of Water.
I'm going to have to get up and stretch, man.
Yeah.
Like halfway through, I'm just going to have to do some push-ups or something.
I just hope I don't fall asleep.
All right. Well, back to the news. We got a bunch of stories this week, Barry. Some wacky stuff, some cool stuff, some fun stuff. Let's start with something that's really cool. Fede Alvarez. You know how he's making the Alien movie?
Yes.
The upcoming Alien movie.
Next Alien film.
Filming. It's coming out.
Oh my god!
Soon.
Next year,
they're all done filming.
Yeah.
Yeah, next year. Lots of things wrapped filming this week.
Yep.
And lots of things started filming this week.
Yes.
Beetlejuice 2. There was some behind-the-scenes photos of that. Winona Ryder and Jenna Ortega were reportedly filming a wedding scene, according to the photos.
Ooh, okay.
Looks kind of cool.
I'm
always up for more Beetlejuice. The first one's really good. It's like
that's the thing.
That's one of those legacy sequels that I think will work.
40 years since the first one. So it's going to be interesting to see how well they can pull this off.
Yeah, it's true. Well, they haven't really done anything else with the franchise.
No,
there was an
they
animated
have not.
show in the 80s or something, but yeah, that's it. It's kind of it. Oh yes, J.J. Abrams. You like him, don't you?
J.J. Abrams? J.J. Abrams? Lens flare man. Lens flare man.
Well, he's going to be lens flaring up some headlights because he's making a Hot Wheels movie.
Oh my gosh.
Guess what this movie's being described as being, Barry?
Hopefully better than his Star Wars films.
These are direct quotes. J.J. Abrams' Hot Wheels movie is going to be emotional, grounded, and gritty.
It's going to be emotional? Okay.
Grounded and gritty.
For
a movie about toy cars.
Yep, let's do it. I want the toy cars to talk to one another and show their feelings.
I hope it's like the 2008 Speed Racer movie.
Oh my gosh, that would like the only thing that would like make it actually worth watching if it is like that.
Oh hell yeah. That's going to be so cool. Oh, all right. Another thing that wrapped filming, Ghostbusters Afterlife 2 wrapped filming according to Ernie Hudson. He's like, yeah, it's done.
It's done? It's over?
Okay.
Is it still the same cast as the first one?
I think so. I'm not quite sure.
That's right. As long as it's still got Paul Rudd in it, I'll be more than happy. Paul Rudd just makes every film watchable.
Yeah, I just haven't seen it. I meant to watch it ever since it's come out. It's just been kind of sitting there.
It's good. It's good. It's
Yeah,
Not as good as the original, but like definitely a lot better than Ghostbusters 2. And definitely 1,000 times better than the all-female cast one.
I liked Ghostbusters 2. That had the river of slime and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Blumhouse. I like those guys. That's a cool studio. They do some wacky shit.
Good old
They're
Blummy.
making the Five Nights at Freddy's movies, right? That's coming out in October. They want to turn more horror games into films.
Oh no.
And they want fans to tell them which ones they want to do.
Ooh,
they want a direct fan input into what they do next.
Nice.
And that's really cool. Because usually studios are like, yeah, okay, well, we're just going to do something else now.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo do a Pokemon movie and now they'll do a Mario movie or something. But Blumhouse are like, what do you guys want? And that's really cool.
Can we write a script for them for a horror movie video game? Because I've got a couple in mind.
You know what would be really cool?
What would be
Dead
cool?
Space.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because John Carpenter himself has actually wanted to do a Dead Space film.
Yeah.
He would be.
Oh, if he could get him attached,
that would be cool.
Carpenter attached.
But no, also as well, do you ever play the Outlast games?
Oh.
Outlast the movie?
Imagine they do the whole thing like it's through the camera or something.
That would be
the
cool.
whole like Blair Witchy side of that's going to be a fucked up movie. Oh god.
And there's also another one called
really cool.
I played, this is going back a decade ago now, called Soma, which is basically like a sci-fi horror video game.
Isn't that underwater or something?
Yes, it's like underwater lab type thing. You're like a weird robot man that keeps getting put into the mind of another robot, and then you keep thinking on who's the actual real robot. It's one of the best video games I've ever actually played, and it was one of the first Let's Plays I actually ever recorded.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's really... Wait, I just thought of an even better one, and I'm not sure if you've heard of it. Have you heard of or played I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream? Point and click from the 90s?
No, I have never heard of it, but from the title alone, that sounds pretty cool.
It's honestly one of the most harrowing games I've ever seen. It's the story of it is mental, and I think it might be based on a novel or a book of some kind.
Nice,
but it is mental. It's about a robot at the end of time that has 5 human guys left, and he just tortures them for eternity, keeps them alive, and puts them through messed up things. And there's no happy endings. The whole thing is just dark, depressing. No one gets out of it, and it's like a choose your own adventure point and click game. And
see, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool to see in a movie.
It would be really cool. But it would also be just really fucked up.
It would be. It would be.
Yeah, if you can find it on Steam or something, I recommend playing it because it's one of those experiences that stick with you. It's a bit dated now, but the story of it and everything is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on from horror and go the complete other way. We got some Marvel news this week, Barry. Some Marvel news that you're very excited about.
That Marvel news. Okay. Yes.
Like to bring it up.
Okay. So there has been behind the scenes pictures of what Ryan Reynolds' new Deadpool suit will look like. And oh my gosh, it looks sexy as all hell. And I need to upgrade my suit now.
It looks so good. I didn't think they could top the suit from the first and second movie.
Yeah, it's just like it's more like vibrant, this one.
Yep. I like the black in the chest piece as well. The line down. It feels very comic book Deadpool.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is really
it's
cool.
getting there. It's definitely a lot closer than what they've done in the past, which is good.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting to see if they do like any alterations with the mask and like how they do that animation and stuff of the eyes now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. We saw behind the scenes of the mask as well, and it looked similar.
Yeah, very much the same. But it's when it comes down to like the animating the eye styles and stuff like that, because was the weird thing about the first two
eyes
anyway.
Kind of did that.
Yeah, they kind of move around, but they do that all like in post-production and stuff like that. And that was the one thing in the first two films. If you like watch them enough, like you can tell sometimes it's a bit like, it doesn't look quite right because it's meant to be a realistic mask and like the eyes aren't meant to move like that. And I suppose that's like part of the the Deadpool kind of fits type thing. So it'll be interesting to see if they change it up to make it a bit more like realistic approach, because now since it's under Disney, they have a lot more bigger budget as well. So.
True. And according to that budget, they can bring back whoever they want, because guess who's coming back for this movie, Barry?
A lot of people are, apparently. So what we got? Jennifer Garner coming back as Elektra.
As Elektra, for the first time in 20 years.
Channing Tatum reportedly is going to be Gambit, or make a Gambit cameo.
Elektra's confirmed, though. So Elektra is confirmed.
Yep.
But Gambit, wow, Channing Tatum, he's going to be like stripping and throwing playing cards and stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, that's the thing, because the only reason they're doing that is for years, like literally, like for like a good over a decade, Channing Tatum was meant to be Gambit and was meant to have his own film made.
Yeah. Who was Gambit in X-Men Origins? I think he was in that movie.
Guy from John Carter.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name. He pops up in a few things every now and again. But yes, also reportedly as well, I think we said it on last week's episode that Ben Affleck is coming back as Daredevil in this film as well. Apparently the original Fantastic Four crew are also coming back for this film. And we're also going to have Magneto, not Fassbender, but what's his name? Ian McKellen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Is going to be making a cameo in it, and the original X-Men from the first film as well will also be making an appearance.
Everyone's in this fucking movie.
Everyone's in this film.
And do you want to know who I'm most excited about, who's returning for this film?
Who are you most excited about?
Karan Soni, or Dopinder. He's back.
He's back.
He's confirmed to be back.
Yes.
And guess what? He says this movie feels exactly like the first two and will definitely be hard R. And I trust Dopinder.
That's good. That's what we want. That was the only thing I was really worried about.
I trust Dopinder, man. He could say anything and I'd be like, it's true.
Yep, it's true.
I believe him.
I believe him.
I'd believe him. He's really cool. We also got some Marvel adjacent news. This one's a little controversial, Barry. Do you remember that Spider-Man fan film, Spider-Man Lotus?
Yes, I did hear something about all that.
It's coming out in August.
Okay.
A lot of controversies around this film. And I hate to admit that it kind of looks good.
So what, have they released like a trailer or something like that for
it? There's some test footage and there's some like CGI footage and it looks really good. I'm not quite sure if there's a trailer, but it comes out in August 10th. It comes out on Spider-Man's birthday.
Okay.
And well, I'm also not sure where it's coming out on. I think it's a YouTube thing.
It would have to be YouTube, because they're not getting any money for it or anything like that, so they just have to release it publicly. Yeah,
which is fair. It's a watch it with your own grain of salt thing, but it looks kind of cool. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, we got some Oppenheimer news.
Oppenheimer.
Christopher Nolan. He confirmed there is absolutely no CGI shots in Oppenheimer at all. There is no CGI in this movie, according to him himself.
Okay.
This man nuked a country for this film.
It's like, it was like, then what did he actually use for all those shots then? Well, that's the thing, because I've been trying to like find out. Like, apparently for the big nuclear explosion, they just used a whole bunch of like really small explosives, like crammed together and stuff like that to actually do it. It wasn't actually a real nuke, people. I'm sorry to spoil the film for you. It's not a real nuke in the movie. No. When whoever did that promo video thing is the absolute smartest person on the goddamn planet, but it was not a real nuke. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all comes together for those scenes. Even though like it's not a lot of action eccentric film, like it's literally just the one big explosion. That's the only like thing in this entire film. All the other stuff.
There's
like,
more than one explosion, Barry.
There's more than one explosion?
There's confirmed that this is the first Chris Nolan scene with a movie with a fully nude sex scene. Did you know that?
Oh my god!
Between what's his name and one of the girls in it. I can't remember. Between the main guy and one of them.
So Cillian Murphy or Killian Murphy.
Yeah,
we get to see
him.
His dong. He just whipped out his dong.
I can't remember the girl. I think it wasn't the one that was playing his wife. It was one of the other ones.
Florence Pugh, the one that he has the affair with.
So we get to see them.
Ooh.
It's fully nude, apparently.
Damn.
You just had that sound effect ready.
There's the boom. That's the explosion. So he's dropping the nuke. We don't actually see the nuke at all. There's no explosion. It's just
it cuts to
that scene. Oh my god!
The countdown's happening. Everything's tense, and it just cuts to that.
Oh damn!
It's like something straight out of American Psycho. That's
yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I didn't expect them to do something like that for this type of film, but I suppose they want to have like a full-on movie about this guy's life and everything like that. So sure,
they
go
obviously
for
want
it.
to show the affair, and I guess the best way to show the affair is to literally show the affair. I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. And it's just like 2 hours of the movie. Was this one sex?
It's like The Room. There's like 3 sex scenes in the first 15 minutes.
But I also found out today, talking about Oppenheimer, the reason why we have this film actually being made, we can actually thank the Batman for Mr. Robert Pattinson himself.
Oh.
So apparently at the Tenet wrap party they had, because obviously Christopher Nolan made Tenet.
He was in Tenet,
Robert Pattinson gave him a memoir book from Oppenheimer to Christopher Nolan himself, and that's when he became obsessed with Oppenheimer, and so that's the reason why we're getting this film made. So we can actually thank Robert Pattinson for getting this film made.
Is Pattinson in it?
No, he was too busy filming other stuff. So
no, that's fair. That's really cool. I always love little stories like that about how these movie ideas popped into filmmakers' heads. It's always really cool to learn.
Yeah.
But speaking of films,
films,
films, yes. Do you know that James Mangold, his next film is going to be a Bob Dylan biopic, right? This is something that's been talked about a while.
Yep.
Starring Timothée Chalamet. We had confirmation that the script itself has been personally annotated by Bob Dylan. And it won't be a whole life story thing. It's going to be a one event thing. So it's going to be it's just a one event. Which is something that's lacking from a lot of music movies, because we have a lot of the whole life stories. We get the Elvis that shows everything in 2 hours and crams everything together.
Yep.
And this is the best way to do it, I think.
Oh yeah,
best way to do it.
Well, that's the it's definitely like I'm very much looking forward to this film, because one of James Mangold's earlier films was the Walk the Line film, the Johnny Cash film, which is phenomenal. And
that's really good.
Like anyone that wants to know anything about Johnny Cash, go and watch that film. That was absolutely an amazing film to watch, and just like the singing and everything and the acting is on point. So, but that's the thing, because ever since then, James Mangold has been wanting to do a Bob Dylan film since he did that one. So that's 20 years ago now, almost.
Well, it's finally happening,
and it's finally happening, because that's the thing. For years and years, because I follow Mr. Mangold on Twitter, and he just constantly posts like Bob Dylan. Like all his quotes and stuff like that on Twitter. That's all he does when he's on Twitter, is just quoting Bob Dylan. He's been doing it for the past 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. A Bob Dylan movie can be really cool.
I
mean, we've had kind of different interpretations of a Bob Dylan-y story movie thing.
Yeah, but
we haven't really had
too well.
No, we haven't really had a straightforward biopic as well.
Yep.
So I'm excited for this. Getting a lot of music movies. We got the Bob Marley one and Bob Dylan.
Yeah, they come around every few years. They do a few music films.
Yeah. I'm always excited for it. We got one more story, and then I've got a wacky story for you, Barry. Rebel Moon. This one is kind of wacky. Yeah, Zack Snyder's movie that's coming out in December. Do you know it doesn't actually have any shots of the moon itself? You don't actually see the moon.
Oh my gosh. You just see someone's ass for half an hour.
Rebel Moon.
It's the moon.
No, I just thought that was really funny. That was a big news story. It's like, there's no shots of the moon. I'm like, okay.
It's like, why is it called Rebel Moon?
Yeah, I was like, should it just be Rebel? I thought that was really funny.
Yeah,
that I announced that as well. That was so stupid.
Now, all I can think of is making that joke now is some rebel guy just showing his ass for just a couple seconds in the movie. They just got to do it now.
That's the title screen. The title screen comes out from the middle. Someone's like, as they pass like an
turns
Empire
out this was
guy
a comedy film.
He's making 2 versions of it. We don't know.
I don't know.
Be. Yeah. But oh god, this is a wacky story, Barry.
Oh, a wacky story.
This is life imitating art, as we like to say on this channel.
Yeah.
Never said that. Stephen King, his house in Maine. He recently woke up one morning, went outside, and found a deer impaled on his front fence. Just impaled on his fence, alive.
What?
Impaled on his fence. No idea how it got there. We're assuming it was trying to jump the fence.
Is he just going to write a book about it now and make it into a film?
He's going to write a book about it and then realize that he's already written that book.
You're like, wait a minute. This was just one of my dreams that I had.
out of everyone's house, out of everyone's fence in Maine, which is a big city, it's Stephen King's. It's like, this is a sign. That would freak me out.
The animals are trying to get revenge on him for making Pet Sematary. Maybe they're coming back alive. Pet Cemetery's real.
Maybe I shouldn't have moved next to this Indian burial ground. Famous last word.
Oh, damn.
Oh, man. That's the wacky story.
That's a wacky story indeed.
That's it for Newsweek. We got a lot of news.
That was a lot of news. That was.
A lot. It was a lot. Should we move on to our movie of the week, Barry?
Let's move on to movie time. And before we get into movie time, there's spoilers, as always. You know, because if you haven't watched this film, which I do highly recommend to go and watch this film, which is called Nimona, which is currently only on Netflix. And at first, I didn't really know much about it. And then we were like, oh, what are we going to talk about this week? And then I was like, oh, this came out on Netflix. And I was just like, and I knew nothing about it. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is one of the best animated films I have seen.
Yeah, I went into this just after Barry being like, oh, you should watch this movie. I'm like, okay. And then I watched it without looking it up, I looked up how to spell it. And then
how do I spell Nimona?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how that went. And then, I knew nothing about this movie. I didn't know who was in it. I didn't know what it was about. I just chucked it on.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, it kind of made my night. This was really good.
It was really good.
Was really cool.
Let me give you and the audience a quick recap of this film and what it's all about. So when a knight in a futuristic medieval world is framed for a crime he didn't commit, that knight being Ballister Boldheart, voiced by Riz Ahmed. The only one who can help him prove his innocence is Nimona, played or voiced by Chloe Grace Moretz, a mischievous teen who happens to be a shape-shifting creature he's sworn to destroy. And then obviously that leads into other events, and there's a whole kingdom thing, and it's starring Eugene Lee Lang as Emberius Golden Loin, Francis Conroy, the director, Lorraine Turstint as Queen Valorin, and Beck Bennett as Sir Theodore Sir Blade. It was kind of like a wacky film. Apparently, it's also based upon a series of graphic novels as well.
A webcomic. Yeah.
A webcomic.
Or at least it started off as one.
Yes, I was very intrigued by this film, and it got me in the feels, that's for sure.
Oh,
and just the whole like aesthetic and animation style for this, because as I am currently working on my own animation on Blender at the moment, and then seeing something like this done from a small like group as well. And this is another thing. This film wasn't actually meant to come out. Can I tell you a bit of a backstory if you want to know?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Give me the backstory. I don't know.
So the backstory behind this was that this movie was originally a production of Blue Sky Studios, which shut down back in 2020 once Disney took over basically their ownership. So the original production for this, and it was then cancelled following Disney's shutdown of the studio early in 2021. And as the time of its cancellation, the film was reportedly 70% finished in layout. The film received Annapurna? I don't know. Oh, received by Annapurna. That's the company that made it, and Netflix the following year. Then DNEG Animation completed all the visuals for the finished film, including the titles, animation, and end credits. So
Cool.
yes, this was a film that we finally got to see the light of day, and I'm very happy that we did actually get it to see it made.
I'm also very happy. I chucked this movie on, right? Here's my thoughts while watching it. I watched it just before we got the podcast. It's very fresh in my mind right now. I chucked it on. I'm like, okay, what is it? It's a kids movie. It's PG. How good can it be? It's from a small studio. The first 5 minutes with the medieval stuff, I'm like, oh, it's just a generic storybook kind of Shrek setup, and then it becomes a cyberpunk medieval
Oh
world.
yes, I did not expect that.
And yeah, how do you think I felt? I knew nothing except the title, Barry. And then I'm like, what? And this switch up? And it kept switching up. Every time I thought it was going to do something predictable, it didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so refreshing. It's so good. It's so good. But I do have one gripe with it, Barry.
What's your one gripe with it, Clayton?
I kind of wish that this was a 1 season long TV show, like an Arcane, rather
that would have
than
been
an
cool.
hour and a half movie. Because
that would have been cool.
Very condensed.
Yeah.
It felt like they could have let these characters breathe so easily and expanded this story into a 10, 12 episode TV show, and it would be just as good as Arcane.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no,
man.
that's the thing with Netflix. Their animation side of things and stuff like that are getting very good. Well, that's the thing. Well, you got shows like Arcane, which is simply amazing. But another film that they also did, I think, last year was called Sea Beast.
Oh, I heard that was all right.
Yeah, that was very much like the first How to Train Your Dragon film. Basically, like beat for beat, essentially. But like still like very well done.
Yeah.
So but yeah, and then just coming into this, like you said, it goes into like the whole medieval futuristic scene, which I was just like, like give me some more of that stuff. But like you say, it would have been cool to see a bit more of this, and maybe we could potentially on how well this does on Netflix, because there is a second book that has been made, so it depends on what they want to do, like if they want to make another movie or just turn it into a TV show potentially. So
I mean, they could just do the whole thing again as a show. I mean, there's nothing stopping them doing that.
No,
I mean, they probably won't do that from a monetary standpoint, but they should do that because that's what I want.
Well, that's what they did with
really cool.
How to Train Your Dragon. Back to that again. They did like TV show for How to Train Your Dragon that was like between the events of the films, and it was still the same voice actors they actually got from the movies to do the show.
I will say, I did watch that show as a kid. That was actually pretty good.
It was pretty
good. I enjoyed that show more than most of the movies, if I'm honest. But so no, this movie was really surprising in just how well it hooked me. I was laughing at the jokes in this movie, Barry. There was it was surprisingly funny.
Oh yes.
Like I'm like, okay. I was expecting kids humor, and I was like, I was expecting not to like Nimona as a character from first seeing. I'm like, oh, she's gonna be the generic, boring kind of, I'm a kid. Sort of thing.
I'm gonna annoy you type thing.
She was really funny. She shows up and she wants to kill everyone.
Oh yeah.
It was just really well done, and this movie was not for kids.
Oh no, well. Definitely not.
It's a hard PG.
Yep.
I was surprised it wasn't M because there's violence, there's blood shown.
Yeah, there's decapitation.
There's hints at swear words. There's people die. It's crazy just what they did with this movie. It's a really cool world. I wanted to see more of the world, and I also hang on. I might have another problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
The ending, the very end, where she comes back. I kind of wanted her to just stay dead, but we get the whole "hey, it's me" tease at the end, and I know that's because there's a second book and there's everything. But I kind of wanted it to end just she sacrifices herself.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I feel like then that would have set it to be like a proper like adult film then, where like it wasn't a happy ending. Like that's the thing. If there wasn't a second book or whatever, they probably would have just done like an ending where she did die and yada yada. They all went off to live their happy lives beside her type thing. But obviously there was a second book and everything like that. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna continue it. Let's do some more. But that's the thing. It'd be funny to find out to see how the first book actually compares, or the actual book compares to this film.
That's true.
To see how much like of a difference there is. So
I might have to go read it. maybe the book will give me more of what I want. Maybe it'll flesh
Yeah.
out the world a bit better. Yeah. Because it's kind of crazy. The overall story, like the background and setup of everything, felt a lot like the Lorax. Like the whole time they're like in this one little city and they can't go outside and there's monsters out there. The
It's like we
monsters are
cut down
little
too many
furry
trees.
things. Yeah. But no, but this movie just surprised me and just how well
Oh yeah.
I was
Well, that's
hooked
the
into it.
it like hooks you in for like within the first 5 minutes, because like the first 5 minutes you're just like, you're just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be another generic kids film. Because that's the thing. I was honestly thinking about watching this with my niece and nephew, and I was like, oh yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be just a kids film and stuff like that. Good thing I didn't, because literally 5 minutes in, the Queen just gets straight up murdered by the main character.
People get crushed.
And people
Thousands
get crushed.
of people die in this.
Yeah.
Godzilla scene, half of that city's dead. There is thousands of people that are dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that
which is also kind of crazy because Nimona at the end turns into Godzilla and kills thousands of people, but then because she saves some other people, she's the hero. It's like she did kill a lot of people.
Yeah, but then she sacrificed herself, and it's like, she's fine. She's the hero of the story. It's like the end of the actual Godzilla film. You know, they all started like cheering him on, which I still find weird.
Yeah, that's stupid. I never really got that in monster movies, but yeah, this movie was great. I liked it. The jokes were good. I just wish there was more time to flesh out the characters.
Yes, yeah, and that's the thing as well. Like especially with Riz Ahmed's character, who, by the way, I like that voice is exceptional, and the way like the characters are all portrayed. Because also his partner, Amberius Golden Lloyd, which they have the most like fanciest like good old knight names, which is absolutely great.
Oh man.
Is actually voiced by Eugene Lee Yang, who is one of the Try Guys from YouTube.
He is.
Yeah. And then obviously we're getting Chloe Grace Moretz as well as Nimona herself. Is very well done. Like I feel like they definitely like with the characters, they were very intentional on who they wanted to voice them, because with the voicing of these characters, like it fits with the actor as well.
It works.
It works exceptionally well, like compared to a lot of other animated films that I've seen this year. Like the voice acting was just on point for this film, and I was like, oh, that actually does work really well.
Yeah. Netflix animation's hitting, man.
Yeah.
It's just I want more. I want this to be a 12-episode TV show and not an hour-and-a-half movie, because it's too condensed, it's too crammed, and I want to let these characters breathe. And it's frustrating because I liked it.
Yep.
But it's also frustrating because it's like it could have been
even
more better thing.
Because that's the thing with
the so close.
Boldheart's character, like it's kind of like, oh, he murdered the queen, now he's hiding, and like and then Nimona just suddenly finds him as well. Like they could have done like a whole couple episodes for that type thing, like, oh, what actually happened to him, where did he go to hide type thing, and you know, that whole thing.
There's a lot of
not just cutting to it, like how did he get the robot arm, for example? Did he make it? Did some guy give it to him? Like he's just like, oh, I just got it.
Like the first episode of this show should have just been him on the run, like a Blade Runner style. He's running around, he's got to build the arm, he's getting chased. It could have been done so much better. And I think the fact that it's aimed as this kids movie kind of holds it back a little bit more, because it's really not. It's kind of wishes they leaned into it a little bit more, maybe went for an M, because kids are going to watch M movies. All the Marvel movies are M. They could have. They were so close. They were like on the line of crossing between good and great.
Yep.
And they've just tilted back. They went woo and fell backwards over the wall, and sacrificed themselves on a giant laser gun for this movie. So, well, did you have anything else you want to say, or should we jump into final thoughts and ratings?
Oh no, we can jump into final thoughts and everything like that for it. But yeah, like that's the thing. The overall like story for it, I found to be quite good. For what was there anyway. Like that's the thing. You do want more for it, especially like I wanted to see more between Boldheart and Nimona, and that like just more stuff, because every single time those two were on screen and talking to one another was just phenomenal. And like that's the thing, especially when he finds out as well when she's like a shapeshifter, weird monster thing as well, or whatever she is. Because that's the thing, it doesn't really explore that as well.
No,
It does feel like a
that.
little bit because obviously she was part of like the rise of the reason why the Empire was like in their
Yeah.
city castle thing was because they feared her essentially or whatever she
She
is.
was all of the monsters, but it
She
was
was
just
all
her.
of the monsters type thing. But yeah, it's just like every time they were on screen together, like the banter between them, it just felt like someone you're having like a good friend you're having a conversation with, almost. Like there's very much like that father daughter vibe going on between the two of them type thing, which was just great to see. And I love the animation style to this. You know, everyone's trying to do that their whole kind of Spider-Verse,
Unique
NPR,
thing.
unique sort of
It grew on
animation.
me.
And that's the thing with Nimona as well. Like even when she wasn't shape shifting, just like some of the scenes, like when I think the lights and sirens were going off, and she was like, "I want to murder everyone." Like her eyes go red because of the lights and stuff like that, like the reflection.
Change.
Yeah.
One time she gave herself 4 thumbs. That was really funny.
That was funny. Yep. She was like clapping with like her fingers or whatever, and I was like, "What the hell?"
It was really cool. The animation style definitely grew on me as it went. It took about like maybe 10, 15 minutes before to me to really get into the animation style itself.
Yeah.
But once I was like, I accepted it. It was cool. It looks good. And then, it grew on me and I liked it. So,
That's the thing. All the outdoor shots for that animation were like really well done. The only problem with the animation is
the backgrounds are really cool.
Yeah. The inside when they were in buildings and stuff like that, I did have a couple of problems. It was very plain and very basic, and also the lighting pattern changed a bit, and it didn't look as good when they were inside buildings. But when they were outside and everything like that, it looked phenomenal. And I was like, wow. But when they went into buildings, they were just like, eh. So maybe like that happened because of like, obviously they already had 70% of a film made and everything like that. And they were just like, let's try and get it out and see what's happened.
Group,
so
studio, small Netflix film.
So yes, overall, I would give this film a solid 7 out of 10.
Oh, I like your thinking, Barry. I like your thinking.
I enjoyed it quite a lot, and probably actually might go and rewatch it again just because of that animation alone. Because I'm like trying to work on my own animation stuff with Blender at the moment, and I could see like people. Well, there already has been people online making scenes from this film in Blender already.
Oh, that's cool.
So
watching this movie definitely made me think like Barry could make a film like this. If we get a group together on Blender, something like this would be really cool. It felt like right up your alley with what you want to do, and I'm sitting on a 7 as well. 7 out of 10 for Nimona. It's one of those films that's gonna be in my mind. I don't think I'll forget about it. It's gonna be always just kind of there. I'm not sure if I'll rewatch it. Again, I just wanted more. I wanted more of everything.
I wanted more of Demon Baby as well. Demon Baby was single-handedly the most cutest, most threatening thing in this entire film, and it was great. So basically, audience, there is this scene, spoilers again, where she turns into a little demon baby, and they're trying to get the squire or whatever to get information out of him. So she's like acting to be this young cute baby boy, and then all of a sudden she just turns like demonic and just starts rampaging through the market as this little demon baby. It's like, I'm going to kill you.
I know. Oh god, I like there's no words to express how much Nimona was well done. Like how much she grew on me as a character, and by the end of the film, I was like, this is really cool. She might be one of my favorite like animated characters, original animated characters to come out in the last couple years.
Yes, yeah,
really cool.
Really for sure. And that ending as well. I'm not gonna lie, that got me in the feels a bit. Like towards the end, it was very like by the book more than like the first hour of the film.
Yes.
Like it went very like, you know what's going to happen type thing. But even still, because we've got to learn a bit more the backstory behind Nimona and Boldheart and everything like that a bit more.
That
and it was just like,
cool.
like, ooh, okay, that's interesting.
I liked the twist that just completely gets rid of the start of the movie, which is probably the worst part, the whole storybook thing. And the twist is like, oh, it wasn't actually just this big battle. It was a little girl and her friend.
Yes.
Like that was the whole reason entire civilization is hid behind these walls from this army of evil monsters that are everywhere.
Yeah, when it was just like this little girl. And by the way, the actual style to how like young Nimona looks when she's the little girl form, by the way, that has to be probably the best style I have ever seen, like a child drawn as in any animated stuff ever. Like that was just so good to look at. Like her character design for those scenes was just like, why can't people do like that for like animated stuff?
I mean, look at the kids in the Flash movie. Quite often, children get just awful character designs and awful.
The Flash is just bad in general. You know, you got Ezra Miller putting babies in microwaves.
Or microwaves no, you don't understand. Babies. It looked bad because I wanted it to. That's how he sees things.
Oh my
He's a bad person, so everything looks bad.
He's the guy that's going to be doing the Batman film, apparently. Yay!
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. We're both giving Nimona a 7 out of 10. If you have Netflix, check it out. It's worth a watch. It will surprise you just how much you'll enjoy this film. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Get on part 2. I still need to fix our soundboard so we have something from Secret Invasion so people know what it is. I suppose Samuel Jackson anyway. You know, he's back. We're talking about Secret Invasion Episode 3, Betrayed. That came out this week. Every Wednesday it comes out. So the storyline for this one was Gralik discovers who the traitor is in his organization. Fury meets an old acquaintance, calls upon another one for help, asks Talos to stop World War III with him, but is unaware of how someone close to him may be planning to betray him. So yes, there's a lot of things that get said and done in this episode, and we're halfway through the season already. And it's going by quick.
We're getting through. We're hit the middle where it's building up. Next one's going to build up again, and we're going to get. It's just the show keeps building up, Barry. It's building and building and building and building, and I'm hoping the payoff works, Barry, because this is quickly becoming one of my favorite MCU series.
Oh yes,
this is really cool. This is really cool. Did you call him Gralik as well?
Gralik? How do you say it?
It's Gravik. It's a V. Not
oh, that's a typo on here. IMBD. You need to put up your stuff. That's what I thought. I was like, who the hell is Gralik?
I don't know. You watched a different show.
Oh, sorry. That's the porn version. Oh, sorry.
When Garlic went over to Agent Furious.
My bad.
All right. So yeah, this episode had probably the most tension of any MCU episode of just ever. The whole stopping the submarine scene was really cool, really well done when Talos and that have to shut it down. They shoot the guy and they have to call up Amelia Clarke and be like, give us the code. I was like, they're stuffed. How are they going to fix it? I don't think I've ever felt that way in a moment in an MCU show.
Oh yeah,
I have it then. It was like,
oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, especially when like the Skrulls, they were on board the submarine already, and then it was just like, oh, okay, like what are they actually going to do to stop this? Like I'm freaking out here.
The Skrulls on the sub tried to press the button as well, even after they cancelled it, and the humans were like, no. But oh boy, this had my favorite just scene in it as well of the show so far is in the museum with Talos and Gravik.
Yes.
That scene alone got me hyped for just anything that Kingsley Ben-Adir is going to do from now on.
Oh, yes.
That one scene, really cool. The whole conversation, everyone in the museum turning into Skrulls, which is something we saw in the trailer, but I forgot about. So when it happened again, I was like, oh, that was really cool. And then he stabs him through the hand, and he does the John Wick and pulls it through.
Well, that's the thing. Don't forget, this is a Disney Plus film show, by the way, and it is surprising on how far they're pushing this to be on the Disney platform. How
is that?
TV 14 rated show.
M. How is that M? He pulled the knife through his hand. I thought we've already had the chopping off the finger.
We've had the chopping off the finger.
Should count as strong violence, which makes MA.
They're pushing the boundaries.
This show's really violent, and that scene also shows that he's got superpowers now. He's got Extremis.
Oh,
he's
yes.
become a Super Skrull.
He's already becoming
Super Skrull thing. You can't. How the fuck are they going to kill him?
Yeah,
they can't.
How are they going to kill all of them? How are they going to defeat the Skrulls? That's what we're all waiting for now.
Beat a single Skrull. Like, what?
That's Fury.
This is mental.
He's probably been a Skrull the entire time. Well, that's the thing, because this came up the second episode, which, spoilers for the second episode if you still haven't watched it. But at the end of that, we basically find out Fury was married, which the start of this episode. He's been banging a Skrull for the past 30 years. And like he kind of just left her when he came back from the snap to go up to space, and now she's really pissed off with him for just like ditching him essentially. And she's kind of like, oh, well, is she working with Gravik type thing? And we're slowly like finding out if she's like maybe feeding Gravik the information behind it all, or maybe she's not. And spoilers as well for this episode. Emilia Clarke gets shot and dies, supposedly.
She's dead.
She's dead.
Holy shit. Okay, so that's two scenes. Let's go back to his wife right now, okay? We'll go back to that. At the end, she gets a gun from a bank. I don't know why she needs to go to a weird secure bank to get a gun. Like,
maybe it's something to kill the Skrulls.
He's got one in every second drawer. A regular gun kills Skrulls. Like,
it's a fancy
I don't know what
gun.
that's about. Maybe it is. But it also reveals on a phone call that she's talking to Don Cheadle's War Machine. I don't know if you picked up that was his voice.
Oh, okay.
Which pretty much confirms my theory that he's a Skrull.
He would have to
he
be.
also called,
he has to be.
He called Nick Fury Nick. Fury said that no one calls him Nick. Don Cheadle called him Nick in the second episode. I'm betting he's a Skrull. I don't know when he's replaced. But another thing, in I think it was this episode or the last one, he's very good at walking now. Like, he was paralyzed a couple movies ago, and now he's walking fine, and we don't see any leg braces on that man.
Yeah, well, it could just be like underneath the suit.
I don't know. I'm betting Skrull. But yeah, I'm betting he's a Skrull. Everyone's a Skrull. Where were we? Oh yeah, Emilia Clarke dies.
Yeah, he just straight up gets shot by Gravik because obviously she's the one, or she's been the traitor in the Skrull group or whatever. But spoilers already though, because the trailers spoiled it. She is coming back.
What?
Yeah, there's already been trailers.
You said the same thing. You said the same thing about Maria Hill.
But there's actually been footage of, unless they're using deleted scenes in the trailer, but there has been actual trailer shots of Emilia Clarke that hasn't actually been put into the show yet. So
are we sure it's going to be her? It could be just another Skrull being her.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. It could just be another Skrull version, or it could actually be the human version of her that Gaia took the
her
body from.
Is definitely in that camp. It's goddamn Skrulls, man.
You don't know who they are or what they're gonna do.
Who can you trust? And yeah, we can't trust anyone.
No.
This show is picking up. It's getting really good. I'm loving it so far.
I just want more. It just takes forever, like that week to turn around. It's like, give me like 2 episodes at a time.
It's hard to talk about because it's like, I don't know where this show's going. It just keeps building up, and I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen, Barry. Like,
it'd be so great. It'd be so great. It turns out Samuel L. Jackson's a Skrull.
Everyone's a Skrull. I kind of want it to be no one's a Skrull, and they're all just paranoid.
Yeah.
Oh man, Fury's been in space the whole time, and he's still David Hasselhoff. That's the twist at the end.
He just like takes off a mask. He's like, I'm here.
White the entire time.
I've been white the entire time.
Oh, well, that's the thing. In the comics, the white Nick Fury was the one in space, and the Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury was the one that was with everyone else. So they could do that. They shouldn't.
No. I don't think they will. Like, Samuel L. Jackson, I think, really loves the role of
hell no.
Playing as Nick Fury, and plus he's already going to appear in the Marvels film that comes out at the end of this year. So
which I will say, I'm actually kind of excited for Captain Marvel too.
Well, that's it. If it continues from this show, which hopefully it does,
it seems like
very much like I am looking forward to it. But I'm still just like the first Captain Marvel film wasn't that great, and I'm not looking really forward to much of the next one. I'm looking forward to it more though than I did the first film.
Yeah, I like the first thing. The only problem I had with the first one was Captain Marvel herself.
Yes.
So, which is majority of the movie is her. But it's like we just threw in 2 other characters that I really like, the Miss Marvel from the Disney Plus show. I really liked that one. And also Monica Rambeau, who she was cool in WandaVision. So it's like there's only going to be 1/3 of the stank that was on the first Captain Marvel. So theoretically, it's going to be 2/3 better than that one.
Well, hopefully. That's the plan. Hopefully it works
out. If I've done
my
math correctly.
If you've done your math correctly there.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Yeah, fuck. What do we talk about on Secret Invasion, man? I don't know.
It's like, who's
I don't know what to talk about.
What do we do? Well, that's the thing. They haven't given us much information about what actually like a Secret Invasion, like what's going on. Obviously, there's still another 3 episodes that they need to add stuff in. Because even as well, like I know, what's her name? Olivia Colman as well teams up with Fury. Because there was like shots in the trailer.
She's great.
Because they actually go to his gravesite. Well, someone's gravesite anyway. Together. Well, that's what was showed in the trailer. Where
Fury got snapped, so technically he would have a gravesite, right? So
yeah.
I mean, technically there's
maybe there's multiple Furies.
Yeah, Hasselhoff. I'm telling you. Oh yeah, Secret Invasion, Barry.
I am, and spoilers, definitely Emilia Clarke is coming back because I'm watching the trailer now, and there is like so many scenes of her in like scenes we have not seen yet. So
I don't know if I can trust you on that, Barry. It's like I get it, but it's also like she. Well,
that's the thing because they can't do the misleading trailers anymore, and I am looking right now. It's Emilia Clarke in a room with a lot of glowing bodies on a machine, and it's Emilia Clarke looking at them all, being like, "What the hell's going on?" And I think it's all the Skrulls. It's all the Skrulls.
Maybe Barry's
she has a gun.
Maybe you're a Skrull.
Maybe I'm a Skrull.
You're a Skrull. When did you get replaced? In between episodes?
That why I've always been a Skrull.
I don't know what we're talking. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's the reason why I've like been around since like what. 300 BC.
Bro's 100. Yeah, Bro's like 25 in human years, but he's
exactly,
actually like 107.
I'm looking good.
Yeah. Looking good for a Skrull. You could have been Ben Mendelsohn though. That's the real thing.
Yeah, should have been Ben Mendelsohn.
Who I will say, I'm excited to see what he does in the rest of the show because he's going to be pissed now that he shot his daughter. He stabbed him through the hand and went to like strangle him just at the threat of him touching him. Ben Mendelsohn's scary.
He's gonna like rage and just start murdering people.
He's one of my favorite actors. He's such a cool actor. I've got a director Krennic pop right next to me at the podcast. It's just looking at it. I'm like, Ben Mendelsohn, I love you.
Good old Ben Mendelsohn. So cool. Good old Australian actors. It's great to see him in stuff.
At least we know he's a Skrull. At least we know
he's definitely a Skrull. What if Olivia Colman?
Or do we?
Dun dun dun.
No, she's too cool to be a Skrull.
But yeah, it's also like even as well, like Nick Fury's wife. I forget her name of her character. What they call her.
I can't
remember. Like
I don't know. She's probably the only one I'm not sold on. Like we haven't seen her. We haven't seen enough of her.
It still seems like very weird that it's just like, oh, he has this wife type thing, and we just like only see her for like 5 minutes of this episode, and then that was it.
That comes from Nick Fury just being kind of there in all of the movies. We don't see a lot
of
his backstory.
Priscilla.
That's right. Yeah, we don't see a lot of Nick Fury except for what's happening in an Avengers movie. So it's like we don't know anything about his backstory in this universe, really. So it's kind of crazy to just throw people in there and be like, you should care about this person. I'm like, I'm not sold yet. Give us more. Give us some more.
Give us some more. Give us some more. Give us the rest of the episodes. That's what you should be doing.
Give us them now. We want them now. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, should we end it there? I'm running out of things to talk about, man.
Yeah. Well, basically an hour in already, so, you know.
Yeah. 58 minutes and 54, 55 seconds.
All right. We don't need to count every single second. All right. We get the picture, buddy. But yeah, you know, that's just like, what are we going to give our final ratings of this episode? Come on.
Oh, yeah. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It's continuing that trend. It's another 8.
Yep.
It hasn't dipped in quality. It's still building up at that same level. So I'm excited. I hope it sticks the landing.
Yeah. No, same here. I'm going to give it an 8 as well. Yeah, good solid 8. But that's the thing. It's just like,
good solid 8.
Is it going to be like every other Disney Plus show where the ends just absolutely crap type thing. I hope not. I really hope not. I really hope this is the first show that has a very strong ending to it, even if they have to potentially kill off characters. Which, watching this trailer, like I was just like, oh, okay, there might be.
Everyone's like, if you're a female character in this show, you're not making it out. I'm sorry.
Unless you're Emilia Clarke, because she's definitely returning. Like I'm literally looking right now on my screen, the trailer, and it is clearly Emilia Clarke.
I don't know,
and she's also with Priscilla as well, holding a shotgun.
I don't know.
So, you know.
We're going to come back next week and we're like, yeah, she's dead. She's been replaced.
She's been replaced. But that's the thing. I really feel like they wouldn't kill off Emilia Clarke, though. Like, you got to get an actress like that and, like, use her a bit more.
The fact that I don't know is exciting, because it's like, if it was an MCU thing, you'd be like, yeah, they'll be back.
Yeah, they'll be back.
They'll bring them back.
But it's like with the show, you're just like,
more things.
Is this actually real, or is it just like scroll? Because that's the thing, the marketing team for this movie has been great. I don't know if you've seen any of the marketing stuff, like just random news reports and stuff like that are, especially in America, just Skrulls walking around.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
proper
what?
news channels. There's just people dressed as Skrulls in the background of some shots.
And also the Indiana Jones red carpet. There was a Skrull there.
It was a Skrull. I missed that. There was a Skrull there?
There was a Skrull. Someone took a picture of the big like logo thing. I think it was the London red carpet premiere they had, and over the corner you just see a sky, well, a Skrull essentially, and it's like, holy shit. They're everywhere.
That's so cool.
They're everywhere, Clayton.
Oh yeah, we gave things identical ratings today, bro.
Nice.
You gave things higher than a 4. I think you're a Skrull. You're giving things too high of a rating. That's the difference.
I know. I need to be too harsh.
Skrulls don't have long-term memories. They can only remember recent things. So
yeah.
I think Barry's a Skrull, guys. If he's not back next episode, then I've got him. If I'm not back next episode, then the Skrulls have won. We need to find a new planet.
Nah, I'll just replace you with Clayton Skrull.
I'll come back next week and be like really negative.
Yes.
I hated this.
I hated everything. I hate the humans. I mean, no, I love humans.
I meant Skrulls.
Yeah, Skrulls, definitely.
All right, let's get out of here. Do you want to give an outro, or should I give an outro?
Oh, we can give an outro. So let's just both do it at the same time. Ready, Clayton? We rehearsed this.
Right.
It's on our script right here. Ready? Line 251.
Article 4, paragraph 312.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the WTF podcast, which you can hear on all podcast media outlets, such as Spotify, Apple, and whatever Amazon's one is. We also have the outro music, which you normally start playing by now. And we also are on YouTube, by the way, and I need to get involved with that. So thanks, everyone, for joining another week of WTF. And I suppose we'll be back next week with more podcast news about films, and we'll see you there.
Bye for now.
See ya.
That was great.
Oh, man.
So stupid.
We are.
Yeah, both of the things we talked about today, I was struggling to find things because I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, that's the thing for Secret. I couldn't remember what exactly happened in Secret Invasion, so I was just like, I know Emilia Clarke died.
Yeah. Download the things.
Downloading the things? You downloading the things?
Are you still doing the YouTube recording, Barry? I have to ask.
Definitely not. No. Wink, wink. This is what the Skrulls listen to.
I don't trust anyone now.
Good. Don't trust anyone at all. We're all Skrulls. Well, that's the thing, because Fury still doesn't have his eye patch back yet.
Yeah, that's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Or is that just a scam as well?
I don't know. Maybe everything's a scam at this point. It's all the skulls, Skrulls just trying to...
Skulls.
Do Skrulls have skulls, or is it just gooey? Or is it just like a mass, like a membrane?
We've seen Skrull skeletons.
Is there Skrull skeletons?
I'm sure we've seen them in the comics, at least. Like, Barry, you should know this. You're a comic man.
Oh, look at that. Marvel Anatomy.
There you go.
They do. They do have skulls, and it's kind of weird looking. Like,
yeah,
really
I
weird
assume
looking.
Is it got wrinkles on the actual skull?
Yeah, it's got wrinkles on the skull.
It doesn't make any sense, but I love that. It's so stupid. They shouldn't have wrinkles on the skull. That's not how that works.
God, it's comics. Anything works.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Also, as well, I wonder if they're going to have Captain Marvel cameo at the end of the season.
Maybe it might be a post-credits thing.
Could be.
I mean, they did that with Miss Marvel. They teased Captain Marvel as well.
Yes, they did.
I'd be fine with that. That would make sense.
That would be all right. It really would. It would.
What if this show ends with the Skrulls winning and then it overtakes Fury, and Fury's a Skrull in Captain Marvel, and the Skrulls like win?
Oh my gosh!
And that leads into a proper Secret Invasion. This is all just the Skrulls win.
That would be really cool. I would love to see that.
Oh, maybe. Oh, that would be really cool. They do that instead of Kang Dynasty. The whole time it's been leading up to a lie.
This is the thing now. I don't know if you watched the interview. We should talk about this on the podcast. I totally forgot about that. Talking about Kang Dynasty, exclusive stuff on the director's cut of the podcast for the 2 subscribers. Ben Mendelsohn gave an interview recently about Secret Invasion and stuff like that, where he basically just did a rant for 5 minutes straight talking about Doctor Doom. And I mean, like, full-on fanboy rant. Like, proper fanboy rant.
And we know Doctor Doom was pretty involved in every comic book thing ever.
And basically, and since that rant's come out now, and since things are being readjusted over at Disney, with Marvel side of things, because a lot of delays have been happening with other films besides Deadpool, is that they are trying to find a way at the moment, and this is not Disney haven't officially said this yet, but it's actually people highly involved with the production side of it all. A lot of the reasons why these things have been put on hold is because of obviously Jonathan Majors is still currently being investigated and stuff like that. But because of that, that is delaying delaying what they wanted to do with Kang and stuff like that. So they're actually trying to potentially going to introduce a major villain. Like we're talking Thanos level villain in between all this now. So a lot of people are very much like, we'll just bring Doom. Like they know they are currently looking for Fantastic Four for the crew. They probably already have casted the Fantastic Four already.
Do. They at least
they just haven't told us yet. Yeah,
they probably got a list at least.
So a lot of people just like they're gonna do Doom because that's the thing for years since like they started making since the first Iron Man and they want to do all this like the MCU and stuff like that. I'm just like bring in Doom, bring him in because really Doom is literally my favorite Marvel villain.
He's up there. He's really cool.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's like badass. Like that's the thing as well. At the end of the day, he's a human being that's defeated the goddamn Avengers. Just one guy.
Literally. He would make sense.
He's no Titan. He's just a normal guy.
Ooh, I mean, it seems like Secret Wars is going to set up Doom after as the villain. Yeah. Because that's obviously leads into Fantastic Four or whichever way around they're doing that. But so yeah, it's like Doom's going to be in that. So they could definitely just do Doom again afterwards.
Yeah.
Set up the whole Secret Invasion thing, do the whole Secret Wars, and then come back and there's Skrulls everywhere.
That would be great.
Maybe
like Doom's the guy funding the Skrulls and stuff like that for their research and stuff like that.
You know what they could just do is the end of Secret Wars just resets everything to just every Marvel comic character is back.
Well, I'm guessing they're trying to do that with Deadpool as well. Like Deadpool it's like an absolute wacky film.
And then keep whoever they want, replace whoever they want. They could do the whole Spider-Woman, Skrull Queen, Secret Invasion thing. Just replace everyone. Because the Avengers, which most of them are currently dead in the MCU, were a big part of Secret Invasion in the comics.
Oh, yeah.
And I really want to see that. So I'm hoping they just reset everything keep whoever actors they want, do the whole thing. You know, even if Kang or the Beyonder or whoever does it resets the whole fucking universe, it'd be good. Do that.
Do it. Do it now.
Hire us,
Disney.
Marvel. We'll write that.
Yeah. Come on, Kevin Feige. I'm waiting for my phone call.
I have my phone on me at all times for Kevin Feige. Exporting the audio. Bum 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 bum.
No, but I really enjoyed watching Nimona as well.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to be as good as it was. I was just like, oh, wow. Okay.
It was very cool.
It was very cool.
La 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 la. What am I doing? Refreshing Instagram. What the hell? Oh, I picked up something cool today. I'll show you. It relates to a movie that we watched.
Ooh. Something cool.
Benjamin Berry. I picked up this.
Staff of Kings. Oh my gosh, I remember playing that game.
Have you played this game?
I've played like the first 10 minutes of it because like a friend had it and I was like, oh my god, good. I'm pretty sure I do have it on my Steam library.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so, I picked it up on the PS2. Shit's good. Indiana Jones got me excited. I saw that and I was like, I have to get this.
Oh yeah. No, I was like looking at my Steam library the other day and I saw like the Indiana Jones games because like it's even got the ones from the 80s on there. I was just like,
oh, the like side scrolling ones.
Oh yeah,
that's so cool.
I'm just like, I want to play like all the Indiana Jones video games now.
Oh yeah. I sent a poll to the group chat asking if I skip work and go ice skating, and Kira was like, obviously. Well, what else would you do?
It's like, duh.
Okay. I might have drag and drop. No, select file. That's what I want to do. I always forget how to do the podcast every time I do an episode of the podcast.
Well, it's really not like a daily thing. And it's like, is this how I do it? That's right.
We make it up as we go.
We make it up as we go. That's right. I still need to upload last week's episode onto the YouTube site. I've slacked off this past week.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting to go through and like all of them.
Yeah, we're not up to date at the moment. I can tell you that. Well, that's the thing. I've been like so focused on like animation and everything this week and getting all that done. I totally got lost and I didn't know what like the day was as well. Yesterday, the past few days, because of like I've just been staying up like and haven't been sleeping, which is bad. And when that happens, I get very confused as to when the day is and what day it actually is. I thought that we were actually going back to TAFE tomorrow already.
It's a week ahead. Whoa. That's okay. Don't worry about it. We go back on my birthday, so
yeah,
that's easy to remember.
That's because I was talking to Mum and then she was like, "No, you've only been on holiday for like 2 weeks." I thought, "What? Yeah. I thought I go back on Monday." She's like, "No."
Holidays are usually 2 weeks. So,
yeah.
It threw me off. If it wasn't for the fact that I go back on my birthday, which pisses me off, that I would have thought we went back tomorrow as well. So,
yeah.
But
yes, for next week's podcast, obviously we need to go and see Mission Impossible.
Barbenheimer? Oh, okay. Barbenheimer next.
Will be the next.
Yes.
The following one. We would be the double feature.
That sounds good to me.
Sometime this week, just go and see Mission Impossible.
We'll see. Maybe I'll find time tomorrow after ice skating.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Because I'm not gonna make the trip all the way up to Perth again just for one film. I'm just gonna go and see it down Mandurah.
We can see it separately. I'll go see it on my own. I've never seen a movie on my own. I've heard that it's actually really good to do.
Yeah, it is.
No, always been with someone because it's always like an excuse to go if someone else is there.
Yeah,
it's like, oh well, I'm going with this person.
Yeah, no, I go to the cinemas like all the time by myself.
Oh wow, you're a lonely match.
And that's a fact.
I'll find someone.
Yeah, no, because like most of the time, like people and stuff like that just don't want to like go out and like see a film, and most of the time it's like just random films as well. And I'm just like, fuck it, I started going to see movies by myself, and it's enjoyable. I mean, it's a bit sad and depressing, but